We have come to the lesson 10 or session 10, and today we will be dealing with Revelation 17 and 18 very briefly. Both these chapters are a repetition of what we have learned before, but with little more added information. And we are coming to the climax of the chapter, and the climax of the events that are ahead of us. And we want to briefly see at the scarlet beast and the scarlet woman. As we read in the scripture reading, the theme of the chapter is judgment. Of course, the theme of Revelation itself is about judgment and various other things, but the theme of chapter 17 is judgment upon the scarlet beast and judgment upon the women. And here we have, and there came one of the angels, one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, talking to me and saying unto me, Come thither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore sitting upon many waters. This is exactly one of the seven angels which we have seen last time about the seven last plagues, and one of those angels coming to John and telling him about the judgment. As I mentioned to you, which is already on the screen, the theme is judgment. We are living in terrible times of life, and God does not do anything without revealing all things to us. And the moments and the times that we are living in are so frightful and so horrible that sometimes we won't even imagine. But God reveals everything to us. He reveals all the secrets to us. And probably during the course of the message, there are short clips for you to understand the intensity of the times that we are living in as well.
The calamities by land and sea, the unsettled state of society, the alarms of war are portentous. They forecast approaching events of the greatest magnitude. The agencies of evil are combining their forces and consolidating. They are strengthening for the last great crisis. Great changes are soon to take place in our world, and the final movement will be rapid. The time of trouble, which is to increase until the end, is very near at hand. We have no time to lose. The world is stirred with the spirit of war. The prophecies of the 11th of Daniel have already reached their final fulfillment. The time of trouble such as it was not since there was a nation. Daniel.
Whose voice is that in the background? Pastor Stephen Gore. Pastor Stephen Gore's voice in the background. And today, as we have said, that we want to see the scarlet beast and scarlet women. And here we have the scarlet women sitting on the scarlet beast. And very shortly from now, we're going to see, identify who are the scarlet women, who are the scarlet beast, and all those things that we would know. And the scarlet women also is holding a golden bowl. And we will see the meanings of each of them very briefly. And we have few of the meanings that we need to understand. Women represents the church, the beast, the Roman Empire, the seven heads, the seven hills of Rome, 10 horns are the 10 kings, and heads of nations, waters of people of many nations. We have read the first verse, and the theme of the first verse of chapter 17 is judgment. In the 17th chapter, there are different terminologies used, and we want to look at each of the terminology and understand what each of the terminology means to us. And first we have the scarlet woman and the scarlet Babylon. The scarlet woman represents the church, the Babylon church, the wicked church that we are in today. There are two churches in the world today. The Babylon church or the church of Jerusalem. Two cities and two women are mentioned in all prophecy. Two cities are Jerusalem and Babylon. Two women are the scarlet woman and the pure woman. Today we want to more so concentrate upon the scarlet beast and Babylon, or scarlet woman or the Babylon. Harlot is the people church or the Roman church that we understand as per prophecy. And we know the harlot church has a golden cup, and we will see what the cup is as well. Wine of Babylon. Wine is the false doctrines the Roman church is teaching us. And very soon we will also see what are the different kinds of wine that the papal church is teaching us. The name mystery on her head. If you see Revelation chapter 17 verse 5, it reads, upon her forehead was name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, the abomination of the earth. And this is the name or the mystery on her forehead. And this verse tells us many things. Firstly, mystery, Babylon the Great, mother of harlots, abomination of the earth. And we would understand as we go through what all this mean. Mother of harlot. Today we have the papal church, which is the dominating church around the world, and every other church is a subordinate to this church. And that's why that church is called the mother church. And every other church is a subsidiary of that church. We have thousands of denominations around the world, and every denomination is subordinate to that. But our church, Seventh-day Adventist Church, stands without any, it comes under no other church. It is God's church. It's a persecutor over the dark ages. We have seen how much horror was caused because of this papal church, and how much of persecution went on, and how many millions of people died during the course of dark ages. And this persecution is continuing on. And even till today, we have the persecution. We may not recognize, but this persecution is intensifying and more, and we will be part of the persecution, end-time persecution, very soon.
Trial before us. The world is becoming more and more lost. Soon great trouble will arise among the nations, trouble that will not cease until Jesus comes. We are on the very verge of a time of trouble, and perplexities that are scarcely dreamed of are before us.
That simply shows us the horrible times that we are living in. And if we don't recognize the times that we are living in, we will be part of this system of Babylon. We will be part of the system of the scarlet beast. Do we want us? Are we choosing to be in Babylon, or are we choosing to be in Jerusalem? Are we choosing to be part of the beast or the scarlet women or the pure woman? Babylon the Great. Nebuchadnezzar himself says in Daniel 4th chapter that he has made his kingdom Babylon the Great, and no one is greater than Babylon. And that's why even in scriptures, even in Revelation, the word Babylon the Great is used. That might be ancient city, but now we are in the modern Babylon. As I mentioned to you, it is all about judgment. The harlot, the Babylon, the scarlet beast, all are being judged at this moment. And all of us, the entire planet is being judged. We are in the judgment time. We are to stand at the judgment scene of God. And God is pronouncing judgment upon each one of us. We do not know our time of our judgment, but let us be ready whenever it is. The word fornication is used in chapter 17. What does fornication mean? Fornication is the illegitimate relationship, the illicit relationship between two things. It can be Babylon and Jerusalem. It can be the church and the state, or good and bad. And that is what fornication is. And today we have two churches as mentioned, Jerusalem and Babylon. We can pretend to be in Jerusalem, but we have an alliance with Babylon. And today we see around the world how church and state are merging to bring the final movements to a close. For example, like our nation that we are living in, we are already together. The church and the state are together. They go in hand, whatever they do. And so it is a decision of ours, or it is, we need to stand up. Where are we? Are we pretending to be in Jerusalem and being part of Babylon? The decision is now ours. The choice is ours. We need to choose where we got to be. And our choice should be strong. And our foundation should be strong wherever we are. Drunkenness is something we are drinking. What would we drink? We drink the wine of the cup of the scarlet beast that the beast is holding. And we will see shortly what is the wine and what are we drinking. And we know the beast has been restored, not fully, but in the days to come, the beast will be fully restored. And the political power will return. And bottomless pit is the final judgment for the beast. And we know that during the time of millennium, the beast will be in bottomless pit, and that is the final punishment for the beast. And today we see the powers are uniting around the world, the churches are uniting, the political leaders are uniting, and this unity is destructive for God's people. But God's people need to understand that we need to stand firm irrespective of all odds of life. But at the end of everything, the Lamb wins. At the end of the great controversy, the Lamb is a conqueror. Do we want to be in the side of the Lamb, to be conquerors against the evils of this world? The choice is ours. And finally, when the harlot support is fully taken away, the Lamb wins the battle. As I mentioned to you that we're going to look at the wine of Babylon, and there again several points that we need to know. Let us see very quickly. The wine is, Pope is the head of the church rather than Christ. Primary authority is the church, is tradition rather than scriptures alone. The earthly priest replaces the heavenly priest, which is Christ. Mary and Catholic priests are proclaimed as mediators, but actually it is Christ who is our mediator. Immortality of soul, prayer to and for the dead, the notion of purgatory, the eternal torment of hellfire, the doctrine of origin of sin, infant baptism by sprinkling, Sunday sacredness, the celebration of Christmas, Easter, Lent, and other pagan festivals, the sacrifices of Mass, the alcohol confession and penance and absolution through the earthly priest, use of images in worship is a violation to the second commandment. These are all various wines of Babylon. Subtly, we too are part of this. We will not recognize. Probably we can pick up each one of them and see where we stand. And just last weekend, the papacy was in our neighboring country, in Ireland, and huge amounts of people gathered to that place in Dublin. what's the title of that? The title of that is the Festival of World Families. The papacy is after two things: families and climate change. There was recently a survey done by Adventist laymen. The links are here on the screen. They were conducting in front of the White House. The survey was done to all the people who were passing by the White House, and they were interviewing. And the person who was interviewing, the Adventist person who was interviewing, was asking two questions. Do you like a day where you can take off and spend time with the family? First question. And do you like climate change? And many people, almost everyone answered, we like a day for family. And which day do you prefer? Everyone prefers Sunday to be a day of family, a day of worship. And no one said they want any other day except on Sunday. Our family day should be on Sunday. And today, that's what papacy is. He's focusing on Sunday on a family day to bring this Sunday worship. It may not come as a Sunday law. It may not come as a big thing to bring the Sunday law, but it will come very subtly, very slowly. And that's why we need to know, in these last days, there are two calls to mankind. The call of Babylon, the harlot, and the call of Christ. The harlot calls to the earth's inhabitants to drink the cup of wine of the false doctrines. Christ invites people to drink of the pure water of everlasting life. One cup will render you spiritually incapable, the other will give you heavenly wisdom and discernment. One will keep your name out of the book of life, and other will give your name in the book of life. And these are two sides of life, two sides of the choices that we would make. Which side are we is the question that we need to ask. There are many forces in the last days. It is just not papacy on the top, but there are many forces which will bring change to our planet, to each one of us. Like papacy, America, Illuminati, Freemasons, United Nations, Council of Foreign Relationships, the Builders, the New Old Order, the Charismatic Movement, and Ecumenism Movement. All of these things will bring changes in this world. And we are in this worldwide web already. How are we going to escape is a question that we need to ask individually and prepare ourselves. There are different uses of Sunday law, some kind of prayer day, family day, being announced, told, WhatsApp messages and many other messages circulated that the law is coming soon. But I like to give a glimpse of what it could be. Is this the Trump's Sunday law? See the number of people who are next to him. There are very handful of people who are making laws and legislations in America. And these people will change the world. And if you follow carefully, I will play the video.
I just want to thank you all for being with us today, because we're going to be signing a day of prayer. It'll be on Sunday. It'll be a very special day, and I don't know when this was done last, but it's been a long time ago. Is that a correct statement? A long time ago. So I'm going to sign it, and then a few of the folks will say a few words, and Pastor Jeffers will say a prayer for not only people of the nation, and in fact the people of our world. So this is going to
Right? We have seen it is going to be a prayer day or a family day. It's not going to be a big billboard as a Sunday law. Things are going to happen just like this. President Trump has signed something for something to happen on a Sunday. It's a Sunday prayer day. And it has been signed last December. And many things are unfolding after that point, after that time. And he clearly said, I'm signing a prayer day, which is a Sunday. Let us understand the times that we are living in. picture of two people here. The former president and the present president. And see the manner they sit in front of the Pope. And let it be any other president who comes, the manner, the protocol, the present between the president themselves before the Pope will be the same. And one was few years ago, one was last year. But the manner they sit and the way the position is remains the same. The protocol remains the same. And that's why we know that one is in control of the other and both are in control of each other and things will happen very drastically. And imagine, there are many world leaders who are flocking to the Pope. And I will show you pictures of few of them. How many important leaders go to the Pope to visit him. We have the British Queen and the Charles, we have an American president, we have the French president there, and we have Angela Merkel, German, and we have the Canadian Prime Minister, we have the Middle East ruler, we have Russian leader, we have again a Middle East person, we have United Nations, we have the European Union. These are the top people who would go to him. And the rest of the other countries are subordinate countries which we follow in suit. The most alarming thing is President signing is a prayer day, which is Sunday. The title that we see of my sermon was God's Final Call and Babylon's Final Fall. We want to see very briefly. Let's read verse 1 of chapter 18. And after these things, I saw another angel coming down from heaven, having great power, and earth was lightened with his glory. And today we see these angels coming down. In the three angels message, we read about three angels. They're not literal angels. It is God's missionaries, God's servants who are proclaiming this message around the world. And here in chapter 18 again, it is God's people who are proclaiming His word. And they are enlightening this world with His message. God is using His end-time messages. It could be Seventh Adventist Church, one of the angels who are proclaiming God's end-time message. It could be God's missionary movement in this last days. It could be the latter rain that we would soon see. And the earth is illuminated with the final message. And I'm sure today, to the lengths and breadths of the corner of this world, God's message is reaching through different ways, through different medias. And the earth is literally being illuminated with the word of God. Sometimes seated here, we may not recognize the intensity or the force the word of God is reaching to remote corners of this world. But if you follow, especially at least the Adventist message, the Adventist preachers who are going to different parts of this world, it is in alarming state that God's message is reaching to the remotest corners of this world, to the remotest islands of this world. God's message is going. And the earth is literally being illuminated. And at the same time, Babylon's condition is being revealed. God is using His people. God is using all of us to illuminate this planet, to bring change to this planet, to bring the final warning to this world. Because things are rapidly happening and God wants to bring judgment upon the beast, judgment upon the scarlet woman, and judgment upon this planet, and so that He can come soon and so that we could enjoy the eternity.
The great day of God. Everything in the world is in an unsettled state. The labor unions are quickly stirred to violence if their demands are not complied with. Plainer and plainer it is becoming that the inhabitants of the world are not in harmony with God. In every mob, wicked angels are at work, rousing men to commit deeds of violence. The perversity and cruelty of men will reach such a height that God will reveal himself in his majesty.
As you see, the times are changing, cruelty, wickedness is increasing, and we got to be more prepared than any time in history, preparing for eternity, preparing for God's kingdom, preparing for the second advent of Christ. The message in Revelation 14 and message in Revelation 18 are the same. The three angels message is repeated again, as I mentioned to you. Chapter 17 and 18 is a repetition, and what we read in 14 is a repetition here. Both says Babylon is fallen, the great city. All nations drink the wine or the wrath of her fornication. Whenever it has been repeated in the Bible, that means there is more emphasis, and there is a necessity for God's emphasis, so that we could be more prepared for His coming. So several times in passages of the Bible, if things have been repeated, it is for our benefit, so that and making an emphasis for our preparation for His coming. Again, the message in Revelation 18 is this: it's been proclaimed prior to these 7 last plagues. Babylon is supreme. Babylon receives universal support, including kings and merchants. And you have just seen the number of people who visit the papacy, and papacy is gaining support. Babylon is fallen into deep apostasy and is under satanic control. And today, Vatican is the world is in deep apostasy. You and I cannot recognize, but the apostasy is all around us. And we are fully under the control of Satan. Babylon's guilt is as high as heaven, and it is fully ripened now. God can come anytime. The wickedness of Babylon is fully ripened, and God is about to come out of His heavenly doors to bring an end, to bring the judgment to fulfillment. Babylon is fully ripened for destruction. God is soon going to bring a latter rain, and in many parts we are already seeing the impact of the latter rain. God is using His men and women, His people, to finish this gospel. And today, if we hear the mission stories very carefully, week after week, every time the story is told about somebody reaching for God, even including today's mission report is telling about a lady or a girl reaching out to many people and bringing many people to the foot of Christ, to His kingdom. And the latter rain is on each one of us. It is we that we need to accept the latter rain and be part of this God's mission, so that we could complete the task the Lord has given to us. We need to understand this, track this very carefully. The parallels between Sodom and end time, Genesis Sodom and end time Babylon. The sin of Sodom was very grievous. The sin of spiritual Babylon are grievous. Her sins have reached the heavens. God decreed the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. God decreed the destruction of spiritual Babylon. A remnant were believed. The remnant of believers was in Sodom. A remnant of believers are in Babylon. The remnant from Sodom was protected by angels. Angels will once again protect the remnant in Babylon. The remnant was called out of Sodom. God also calls the remnant in Babylon to come out. 3 angels are involved in the deliverance of Lot from Sodom. 3 angels are involved to the call to come out of spiritual Babylon. There are 3 calls to leave Sodom. 3 messages are given in calling the remnant out of Babylon. 3 individuals were rescued from Sodom. Those who are rescued from Babylon, the Lord is going to bring the end time destruction. Just as how the Lord brought destruction on Sodom, the parallels between Sodom and end times is very close. They're very identical. And if Sodom has happened, end time also will happen. There are 7 sayings in the book of Revelation. In chapter 18 itself, there are 7 sayings asking and urging us to come out. Let us see very carefully each of those sayings. Saying, Babylon the great is fallen, for all the nations have drunk the wine of her fornication. Saying, come out of her, my people, lest to share our sins, lest to receive her plagues. Saying, alas, alas, the great city, the mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. Saying, alas, alas, the great city that was clothed and adorned with, for in 1 hour her great riches has come to nothing. Saying, alas, alas, the great city, in which all who had ships on the sea become rich by her wealth, for in 1 hour she is made desolate. Saying, thus the violence, the great city Babylon shall be thrown down and shall not be found anymore. All the 6 sayings are a repetition that Babylon is coming to an end. This wicked world, Babylon is nothing but this wicked world. This wicked world is going to come to an end. And we see in 1 chapter, that many cautions are given to us because we are lukewarm. We are given repeated warnings, but yet me and you have not changed. And that's why God is giving us these warnings repeatedly, that this wicked world is falling. And finally we see that this wicked world will be thrown away. And soon God's people has to rejoice. When Babylon falls, Jerusalem need to rejoice. When the wicked world falls, God's people need to rejoice. And that's why the last saying says, praise our God, all you his servants, those who fear him, both great and small. When the wicked world is fallen, it is God's people, Jerusalem, need to rejoice and need to praise of what has happened. God is bringing our planet to a close. God is bringing the history of this planet to an end. Are we ready for his return? The final remnant are here. Today there are other sheep in Babylon. Today there are other sheep which are not of God's final remnant. Today God's people who are still in Babylon are to be brought into faith of the final remnant. In the end times, Christ's scattered sheep will hear the voice of Christ in a special message of revelation. In the end time, there will be one remnant, one final flock of revelation. In the end, there will be one shepherd, no earthly leader claiming to be divine, but Christ, but Lord Jesus Christ alone. His people will gather together in the final union with Christ alone as our shepherd. God has his people even in Babylon, and God is asking them to come out. And if we fail to hear God's word, being in Babylon, we will be forever doomed or forever be lost. The close of probation is soon to happen. Have you made yourself right with God? We need to make our preparation right before the door closes. Before the mercy door closes, we need to make our relationship with right and with our fellow beings right. Otherwise, the door is going to soon close. Just like how the door closed for the people of Noah, the door of mercy is soon going to close for us as well. Are we going to be inside the probation or outside the probation? If we are going to be inside the probation, we are going to be saved. If we are going to be outside the probation, we will be forever be lost. The choice is ours. The decision is ours. Salvation depends upon our own individual faith, our own individual commitment to God, our own relationship with our God. No one can save us except you, God, and our relationship with fellow beings. The final thought is the Babylon church calls for complete loyalty and obedience. So does Jesus Christ. The harlot followers are popular and in majority. Christ followers will become increasingly unpopular and in minority. One side is united against Christ, the other is united with Christ. Those with the harlot finally will face disillusion and disaster. Those with Christ face conflict, victory, and translation to the kingdom of God. If you are faithful to the Lamb now, He will be faithful to you in the coming conflict and will deliver us. God is bringing our lives to an end. This course of our journey to an end. And if we are faithful to Him, God will be faithful to us. What is our decision? What is our personal choice? The choice is ours. Let us make wise choices. Let us make the right choice and the wise choice so that we could be in heaven and enjoy the blessings that the Lord has stored for us. May God bless us that we will take this wise decision for eternity. Amen.
To bring this inspiring message to a close, shall we all rise and sing hymn number 416, 416.